This is free kick master Roberto Carlos, and this is me challenging him to a 1v1. The only thing is, I've never actually practiced free kicks before. Roberto Carlos is one of the greatest free kick takers of all time, and I'm not. So for the next 7 days, I will train to become a free kick master like Roberto Carlos. And on day 7, I'll go head to head with him in a free kick challenge. We're gonna test my free kicks on day 1 and day 6, and the results are not what you'd expect. Every elite free kick taker is a master of one technique. So I researched the best free kick takers in the world and studied them closely. For the next week, I too needed to become a master of one technique. So I went to the pitch to find out which one that was gonna be.
I'm pretty good at shooting, so I have high expectations for this.
And after the first shot, it looked like I was gonna live up to those expectations. But very quickly after, it was clear to see that wasn't gonna be the case. I only managed to score by tricking the keeper and shooting in the bottom corner. But when I tried to go over the wall, my technique just wasn't good enough. And I finished test day 1, scoring just 3 out of 8 free kicks. I had a lot to improve on if I wanted to be ready to face Roberto Carlos on day 7. I arrived at the pitch, and before we got started, I made sure to stretch properly. Taking free kicks over and over again without fully preparing would increase the chance of injury before I meet Roberto Carlos, and I couldn't take that risk. Today I'll be trying out different techniques to find which one works best for me. First, I wanted to start with the GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo's famous knuckleball free kick. When hit perfectly, it is pretty much impossible to save. But the problem with this technique is that it can also be extremely unpredictable and difficult to control. Perfecting this technique would take years of practice, and I only have 7 days. So it was time to try another technique. None other than the famous Trivela from Roberto Carlos himself. If I wanted to really impress him, this was the perfect way.
That wasn't too bad.
The only thing is, the outside of the boot Trivela free kick is by far the hardest technique in world football. And at the rate I was going, it would be impossible to learn in a week.
Yeah, this one isn't gonna work.
And that left one more technique. My favorite shooting technique and my best chance at beating Roberto Carlos, the curl free kick.
I think we're onto something.
Now that I'd found my technique, what could possibly go wrong? Now I had to perfect the technique.
Back at the pitch for day 3. Let's put this work in.
But this time, we added a goalkeeper. My twin brother Ezzy. And even though he might not be the best, it definitely made it harder to score. The main focus of today was technique, and at the start I was struggling to get it right. When I focused on curve, I didn't get enough power, and when I focused on power, I didn't get enough curve. So I decided to focus less on both and try to combine them. My shooting was way more accurate. With each shot, I was getting closer to actually scoring now. So it was no surprise that 2 shots later, I had finally got the hang of it.
Woo! We are getting somewhere today.
Now that I felt more comfortable shooting, we introduced shooting targets to focus on precision. The target was very small, so it was only when I shot with the perfect technique that I finally hit it.
Yes! Come on!
We ended the session with some penalties, and I was on fire. I literally scored every single penalty, which was a massive confidence booster for me. And now I was feeling extremely confident about my chances in 4 days' time. I'd worked hard today, but now I needed to get some good rest because tomorrow will be my hardest challenge yet. And that's because on day 4, I flew over to France, the very country that Roberto Carlos scored the iconic free kick, to take on 2 pro free kick takers.
Professional pitch. All for us, let's go!
I made sure to get to the training ground early to get some practice shots in, and I was feeling good. The improvement I'd made over the past few days was amazing, and I was feeling very confident going into this matchup.
Oh, I am ready for this.
I was really looking forward to this challenge. That was until they told me this. I wasn't taking free kicks against them. The truth was, they had brought a pro goalkeeper to go against me instead. I was feeling very confident up until this point, but now I had to face my biggest test yet.
Oh!
I hit it so well, but the keeper saved it with ease. And after he saved all of my first 3 shots, the nerves had started to hit me and I lost my rhythm completely. Every shot I took, it felt like he was always one step ahead. I needed a minute to compose myself, so I asked the guys to take some shots, and this is what happened.
Wow, you're better than the UK goalkeepers.
Even they couldn't beat him, and now it felt impossible that I would score. I took shot
Hey, give a load though.
after shot
Oh my.
after shot, and now there was one ball left. I had one last chance to beat the pro goalkeeper.
How has he done? How?
And after that amazing save from the pro goalkeeper, it meant that I had failed to beat him, and I was going back home without scoring a single goal. I had come out here full of confidence, but now I felt defeated. After my performance out in France, my ego was hurt and I didn't feel like training on day 5. Missing so many times in a row can really start to make you doubt yourself. And now I didn't feel ready to go up against Roberto Carlos. Later that day though, my good friend Ergus reached out after he heard what happened in France. He told me to meet him at his pitch and he would train me. Ergus has been practicing free kicks for the last 10 years. So if there was anyone who could help me, it was him.
I'm here to show you that it's okay to have an off day, Jelani. You're still the same player, but go do some laps.
Yeah, one thing about me is that I hate doing laps, and Ergus unfortunately knows that. So I'm sure this won't be the last time today. We got straight into the work and started off with some long passes to find my range. And let's just say I didn't exactly find it straight away.
Oh, what's that? You gotta do better than that. All right, this time to my feet. To my feet!
We spent the next part of the session focusing on technique, and Ergus gave me a few key tips.
Yes, I think it's time for the drills now. Let's go.
Now it was time for the main drill. The rules are simple. Ergus will shout a colour and I'll have to touch that cone. And when he shouts go, I have to shoot all 3 balls lined up on the edge of the box. But there's a catch. If I miss a shot, I have to restart and also do a lap of the pitch. So the only way I can complete this drill is if I score 3 free kicks in a row. And as you can guess, that is extremely difficult. The point of this drill is repetition. I had to make 3 shots in a row even when I was so tired that I could barely run. And as a result, I had to do lap after lap after lap. By the time I'd done my 10th lap, the rain was coming down pretty heavy, so it was only gonna get harder to score. If I wanted to complete the drill, I had to do it now.
Come on!
I scored my first shot and then the second. All I had to do now was score 1 more.
Yes.
Finally, after hours of trying, I scored 3 free kicks in a row and completed the drill. Or so I thought.
Ready?
Ergus had brought along one of his apprentices, Freddy. I was going to face Freddy in a 1-shot free kick challenge, but if I miss, I can't meet Roberto Carlos.
You accept?
It was way too risky for me to accept, but I'd worked too hard and overcame so many hurdles to get to this point and not have belief in my ability. So I accepted his challenge.
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
Freddy was up first.
Oh my gosh.
And his shot went just over the bar, and now it was over to me. All I had to do was score, and I would win.
Yes!
That's a sweet one.
And I scored.
Bro, you did it. But you know what time it is now. Roberto Carlos.
Roberto Carlos, man, I'm ready.
Ergus had helped me get my confidence back, and now it was over to me to perform on day 7. Day 6 is test day. It was time to see how much I've improved. And from the first shots, the improvement was clear to see. My shooting technique was much more consistent now. And I even pulled off this absolute beauty on the 4th shot. I hit the bar on the next shot, and then the keeper made an amazing save. But for the final 2 shots, luck was on my side as I smashed the ball off the bar into the net. And then on the final shot, the keeper gifted me a goal, helping me end on a very solid score of 6 out of 8, which is double my day 1 score. With both test days done, the moment we've been working for was here. It was time to challenge Roberto Carlos.
So I've arrived at the Dome and today I am taking on a World Cup winner. I'm about to go head to head with football legend Roberto Carlos.
And standing meters away from me was the man himself.
I can't believe that Roberto Carlos is right over there.
I put my kit on and it was finally time. Even my brother Ezzy was nervous now, and I don't blame him. This was my hardest challenge ever.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Okay.
Very good, thank you. How are you? Good. So, you ready for this?
Roberto Carlos.
I've been waiting, I've been training for this moment.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Eu estava vendo ele treinar ali.
Oh, really? What did you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Ooh! Thank you very much, thank you very much.
Being praised by one of the greatest footballers ever was an amazing feeling. But now I felt even more pressure to perform, and Roberto Carlos was up first. And by no surprise, he curled it into the corner and made it look so easy. And now it was over to me. I needed to score, but my shot just went over the bar. That now meant if Roberto Carlos scores here, he would win the challenge. And again, he made it look so easy as he curled it into the back of the net. Roberto was 2-0 up now and I lost my chance to come back. But just before I took my next shot, Roberto gave me a moment I'll never forget. He placed the ball in front of me and told me to take 2 steps to the left and 2 steps back. He then told me to follow through and keep my eye on the ball. And what happened next was magical.
See, that's why. This is why he's the king. Left, 1-2, I'm doing that forever now.
I scored a beauty in front of Roberto Carlos. And just to prove it wasn't luck, of course I had to do it again.
See, even that, oh my gosh! Roberto, what have you done?
Even though Roberto Carlos won the challenge, it was an absolute honor to share the pitch with him and create a memory for life.